Welcome.
Welcome to Shadeinthecity.
I'm your girl Treese.
It's Niles.
And today we are here to do our recap of Before the 90 Day, 90 Day Fiancé, Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 10, War and Peace. All right, y'all, all of our Shade Squad and our new viewers, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. It's a lot to get into. The Rayne and Chidi of it all and the Niles and Matilda. So yeah, y'all, let's get into it. And let's get shady. All right, y'all. So we're kicking this off with Niles and Matilda. So as we know, Matilda says that, she was hurt learning Niles, after realizing he's not going to marry her on this trip. But after understanding the, masking and his autism, she feels a little bit better about it. So they're off to visit her family in Kumasi. And she lets them know that her family is going to question what changed. And they worry if her family will, still allow him to do the knocking ceremony that we know he's supposed to be doing. So Matilda says, this tradition is super important to her family. And she basically is hopeful that with him revealing the news that he doesn't plan to do the marriage ceremony, that, they'll basically accept him. And so, Niles is just hopeful that her family is just as forgiving as she is. And so we see her take her first flight, which I thought was really cute. She had never been on a plane because obviously her family, hasn't been able to afford those type of accommodations. So she's a little bit scared, but she's happy. And, that Niles introduced her to this experience. And, she
spoiling her.
What happened?
She said her boo is spoiling her.
Yes. And so, she said she was scared, but it was faster than a bus. And she hopes basically the next time she gets on a plane is going to be to go to America to be with Niles. So then we see that he's booked a hotel once they get back to Kumasi, because apparently she has a lot of extended family living with her in her home. So he feels like he might be overstimulated. He's also happy because it gives him time to, take a break before he has to break the news to everyone. And yeah. And then we see Niles, and as he goes to the barber is like, look, he clocks it real quick. And he's like, look, I don't know what you're doing, but you better not be playing with her because basically this family will curse you and this will follow you to America. Okay. And so basically Matilda
even told him, like, go get fresh. Like, you came all the way over here with no haircut. What you're not about to do is go see my family with no haircut. Go get fresh.
Good point. Good point. And so Matilda is trying to coach him on basically what he needs to say to her family. And he plans to tell them, they're like, oh no, I never told you I was going to marry you. And she's like, don't go in there a lot of my family like that. Don't do that. That's what we can't do. That's what we're not doing. Okay. So
balls to say that to her though.
Huh?
I thought he had a lot of balls to say that.
No, that was a lot. Very ballsy. Again, he's socially awkward. So we know he doesn't always say the right thing. He's very blunt, as he says. So Niles and Matilda make it to her hometown or family home. He'll be meeting her uncles who have, kind of stepped in because we know her father's passed away. So her family comes out to welcome both of them once they arrive. Niles says that this kind of reminds him of his own family. And, he basically wishes they were there to support him, especially now that he got to share the news that he ain't got no plans on marrying this girl on this trip. So the uncle's like, well, why are you here in our presence? What brings you here? And so, he's like, well, basically, I came to do the night, I like Matilda. I came here to get to know her. And I was hoping to do the next, do the knocking ceremony. And then maybe and I want to marry her. Maybe we can get married on the next trip to Ghana. So the family's confused. Everybody's like,
that ain't how we do it here.
And what's so crazy, because I was confused because it gave me the vibe that because the uncle was translating, they didn't know English, But when he said that he had no plans on marrying her, it seemed like they very like understood very clearly what he was saying.
Mm.
And I don't understand how they got the translation.
Oh. Well, I do still think that they didn't understand because remember at one point Matilda said translate. She told the
Okay.
uncle to translate.
But I mean, based off like what they showed us, and it might be again, it may be editing, but based off the reaction they showed us and when he said what he said, I was like, how did they understand what he said?
You're saying before he translated.
Right, before he translated it.
I don't think I caught that.
But anyway, so basically, they're like, well, this is very serious to us. So we'll agree to that's good that you want to do a knocking ceremony, but you need to be back here in 2 months. 2 months is what we giving you. And so he's sitting there nervous and he's like, I don't, I ain't got it like that. He already told us he ain't got it like that. So he's like, I don't know if I could do that. And so Matilda's like, just tell them you got me this ring as a promise that you coming back for me, but you don't know when that is. You got some things to handle, but you'll call them, you'll stay in contact, you'll stay in touch.
You know what I think would have been smart if he would have did because I think I don't want to say the whole reason, but I think most of the reason why he can't marry her right now is to do with money. I think he should have tried to find out what they expect from him. Because the what is it, the dowry?
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
already said he didn't want to marry her without without his parents knowing, and his parents don't approve of the relationship. He said that before he left.
Mm.
That was another reason why he didn't want to marry her right now.
But I think it would have helped, like, to even be able to plan it out and know when
Right.
he's able to
Because
come
he
back.
still doesn't know what they're going to be looking
And,
for.
and
I agree.
remember, that was his whole thing. What do they want? How much do they want? Da, da, da. Like, he should have asked, like, what we looking at for this dowry, though? Like,
Right. So, but yeah, so basically the family is not pleased. And, as I said, Niles can tell this by the facial expressions. But basically lets him know that, they'll accept this little ring and he gonna do the knocking ceremony, but he needs to come back very soon, basically. And that's pretty much, I mean, and so Matilda, she knows that they're giving him a pass, and he's very gracious, which I love. We even see him say thank you in her language, her native language, which I thought was dope.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was very, because we see so many people who don't even make the effort to learn that. So I was proud of Niles for doing that. And I do think that he really cares about her and he loves her. He just has his issues and he's a liar.
I, I,
Um,
I will say I think that they care and love each other because I know I had my doubts about Matilda, and I don't know. I mean, I think she genuinely does care about him.
but she makes it known that Niles can't have any other missteps, and we know that's just in 90 day and just in life, there's gonna be a misstep somewhere. So, you know, poor,
That
especially with and because we know that unfortunately he'd rather lie. He'd rather lie.
did you see the preview for next episode?
No, I didn't get to see the preview.
Oh, I don't know if it's I think it's the guy that they have to like that marries them.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I did see that where he's like,
Yeah.
no,
He said,
no.
"Yeah, it ain't gonna work." He said, "I would never approve that." I said, "Oh, I guess it ain't up to the family then."
Well, like they said, it's a cultural thing. It's like her whole village. It's 200
Mhm.
people. It's not just oh your mama or you asked for my daddy's hand in marriage. It's a little bit different over there. That's a community. Um, all right, let's get into Vanya and
Bojo.
Bojo. Bojo.
Bojo. All right. So Vanya woke up with some balls, y'all. Okay. She said she's feeling some mixed, no, she's getting some mixed signals from Bojo the night before. And, she's hoping that today, he might be acting like his normal self, like, how they was over the phone. He was waiting outside for her with breakfast. Okay. Took her to Old Town. Even
Yeah,
stopped.
basically Old Town Croatia.
Yes, even stopped, sang to the girl. It was giving that this man was in love. So she wants to know when she's going to be meeting with his friends. Apparently, that's something they pre-planned. He told her, the following night, And he told her that, his mom already married them. So she's like curious. She's like, oh, what did you tell her about me? Why is she so excited to meet me? Why is she so excited? Girl, it ain't got nothing to do with you. She would be
with
happy marrying
anyone and
this
with any
man,
woman at this point.
to a pig if she had
Right.
to. Okay.
Well, not a pig. A pig can't give her. Well, I guess it could give her grandchildren, but that's not
I
what
don't
she.
even think she cares about grandchildren at this point. She just wants him married and out the house. Now Vanya, she's eager to meet the aunt and her. Then he told her that he knows last night was a little awkward. And it's because he sees her as a friend. And he's hoping to fall in love with her, the next few days that they're together. So she's confused because she's like, sorry, we already told each other that we love each other. Okay. And says that when the hell did we become friends? Okay, because I'm out here trying to pursue a relationship with you.
Right.
And he said, yeah, I think that we got some chemistry, but right now it's not romantic chemistry. So she asked, like, what happened? Are you not physically attracted to me? He said that he is. But right now, he's just trying to see how it goes the next few days. He said everything was good over the phone, but in person, you know, it was a bit overwhelming for him. Okay. And he's hoping that with time, he'll get feelings for her. Of course, it's made her emotional. He feels bad for hurting her, but he said that he needs to be honest from the beginning. And she said that she's insulted, but she is still hopeful because he's willing to see how it goes over the next few weeks. Child. Did you see
I
the
mean,
preview for that one?
I respect his honesty. I
But
do.
did you see the preview for this one?
Oh, we're basically, yeah. He
I'm not, so all of this, that is what it was giving. There's somebody else in the picture. And I think it was the friends it looked like the friends snitched him out that he's still messing with the ex.
Yes, you're right. I remember somebody said in the comments last week that they thought it was somebody else in the picture, which I mean,
That's definitely what.
it's sad. I mean, it's just crazy why he would let this girl come all the way over there and then tell her that.
Because guess what? He broke and he ain't have to pay for nothing. He didn't have to sacrifice nothing. So what the hell he care? She the one that had to take off 3 weeks from work, had to pay all this money to get over there. What the hell? He don't give a damn.
Well, I can't even say I feel bad for Vanya. All right. Now we're
I
gonna
think
get it.
over the phone, clearly it was different.
I don't know. He gives me like that's what I'm saying. He gives me the vibe that he was like a jokester anyway, and he jokes about everything. So maybe I don't know. I don't know if he told her he loved her over the phone. I don't know. Like
He
I
didn't
don't.
deny it.
Again, he's a clown. I've said this, but I don't want to be in. I don't want to be disrespectful to nobody's culture and call him Bozo. Anyway, so Veah and Sunny. This is another clown.
Who?
Veah.
Oh, okay. I told you
No,
he wasn't done, girl. I told you he wasn't done. I was watching. I said, I know Teresa's so disappointed.
Veah is trying to talk to Sunny, but Sunny has not been interested and he has basically told her to leave him the hell alone.
And
So
leave
she
me
says,
alone.
basically, growing up, she understands. And I will say this: I did find it very strange that through that whole exchange that they had, she showed no emotion whatsoever. It
Mhm.
did make it seem like she had no to give. Okay.
Mhm.
However, she says that this is something that comes from her childhood. She struggles with showing emotions because she wasn't allowed to do so in, I guess, the family that she was in. So she decides to meet up with Rory at the market because she's tired of sitting in a hotel alone. And then she goes to the market and it's a shock that they ain't got Apple Pay, which girl, um, so
I wanted to snatch her up through the phone.
so luckily Rory is just happens to be around the corner. Great timing, Rory. And he's
Has
he's
cash.
he's real always there when you call, always on time. So he happens to have some cash and
That's why she keep
then
his ass around.
Right. So then she tells Roy what happened, and he tells her that basically Sunny has a right to feel disrespected. You are a liar, and but they basically don't give up. Don't give up. If he was stupid enough to, stay with you after I was posted under his pictures and doing all this, and he knows I'm on this trip, keep going. He might take you back. Keep trying, girl. And
I'm
what
not
you
gonna
do,
lie.
that it better yet, even better, let me give you a manipulation tactic and tell him about everything you've been through and why you are the way you are, and make excuses for yourself, so that way maybe he'll feel sorry for you and take your raggedy ass back.
I'm not gonna. I was surprised that he even did that, because I know we were both talking about it earlier in the season about how he could care less.
Right.
He don't want her, but the fact that he actually did give her, I mean, some pretty good advice. Clearly, it worked,
Yeah, go
and
manipulate him.
basically, well, I wouldn't say manipulate him. He told her to open up, which clearly
I'm
she
with
did.
Sunny. I'm with Sunny. We'll get there. So anyway, so finally Sunny agrees to meet with her at the hotel. So they talk. Finally, you know, she's all happy, and she tells him basically he wants her to understand how she hurt him. It basically tells her he doesn't feel like she's trustworthy. Um, he presents, oh, and then she has flowers for him, which I was like, okay. And he's like, well, what you got flowers for? And I was like, see, I was with you, Sonny. I thought he was gonna stick to his guns and be like, hell no. I thought he was just going there to give her some closure, but he fell for it. So they go to the balcony and talk, and he's like, you hurt me deeply, and he's like, so please explain why the hell Rory is here with you. And she's like, oh, I don't think I could get on the plane without him. And he's like, okay, so that's what we doing, we just lying to each other. And I was kind of with Sunny, like, okay, even if you knew I wouldn't like it, it's the fact that you lied about it.
I thought she was gonna have a different reason for why she brought Rory.
And then she's like, oh, and she talks about being abandoned by her parents, and she has issues trusting. And then Sunny's like, okay, I've been through some stuff too.
Right? We all been there.
We all been through some stuff. That don't mean we get to go around and treat people like shit and lie to them. I'm just saying. Again, I wasn't here for it. I wasn't here for the manipulation. And then she's like, well, you don't understand. I don't like Roy romantically. We once shared a child. And remember, I told you my brother passed away, and Rory was there for me, and him and his family were there for me. And at the time, I was pregnant, and then I lost the baby, and that just brought us closer. But it's nothing. I don't really like Rory like that. It's just we have this closeness. And I was with Sunny. He was like, so what have we been doing for the last year? Why is Rory that person for you, but yet you're coming over here hoping that I'm going to put a ring on your finger?
That's the problem. All the closeness that he was supposed to be getting, all the openness that he was supposed to be getting, was still going to Rory. She was still being open with Rory and telling Rory all this stuff because this is who she's close to, and still shutting Sunny out.
I don't know. You ain't gonna waste my time a year later. But anyway, Sunny decided he was gonna forgive her. And he said he don't want to seem like
Against Teresa's better judgment.
Against my better judgment. And then he said he don't want to be the jealous boyfriend that Veah has to hide things from. But then he feels like, well, now I have Rory to compete with, and I wouldn't want to live like that. Sonny, I would have cut your losses, said, well, thank you for sharing that with me, and I appreciate that. But maybe on your next relationship, you'll learn to trust that person instead of Rory. And I would have went about my business, but that's just me. All right, Rayne and Chidi, bang, bang.
You know what? She deserved to be called Rayne right now. All right.
Oh, I did say Rayne. I'm sorry. Her name is Renee.
So yes, Chidi and Renee. So Renee is heading to the beach to meet up with Chidi. She has high hopes, that he's gonna come back and hang with her at the hotel. Now, he has other plans. Okay. He worried about hurting this girl's feelings. Regardless, he says that he is no longer interested in this relationship and he need to let her know. So Chidi starts the conversation talking about the relationship between Renee and his sister. Of course, she don't want to hear it. She feels like it's all his sister's fault. He tries to reach out and touch her. She pushes this man's hand away and tells him, "Touch yourself. That's what you used to." I said, "Oh Lord, it's going downhill from here. This is so not off to a good start." Okay. Production asked her if she thinks that she could be overreacting about Chidi's sister, and she said she doesn't ever think that she overreacts. It's giving. What did he tell her to do? Look within herself.
Look within
Inward.
yourself.
Look inward.
Right.
I said, girl, if unaware was a person, okay. Then he finally asked if he could talk. She told him, "Go for it, Junior." Okay. And then this girl starts speaking over him all over again. She's so disrespectful.
She
She
is.
told him that, you're sucking your sister's tits and you're never gonna let go. Are you sharing the milk or what? I was just like, girl, you just the fact. And then after all of this, she has the nerve to say that he's crossing the line. Okay.
He's super disrespectful.
She's dumb disrespectful. Like, you could never talk to an American dude like this, girl. This is why you had
No,
bad.
it's not even that. It's not even about being American. She could never, if her movements and everything, we saw them. She is like, she better be lucky.
I think he could feel them though. Like, I think
he could feel them, but
Mhm.
I just think that anybody who was, even if you didn't understand the venom that was coming out of her mouth, you could tell by her actions and her movements what she was giving. And I think any other man would have felt threatened, not saying you go upside her head, but like, you ain't gonna do too much more of this and this and this and this in my face. And like I don't know. I think that she should be lucky that Chidi can't see.
Exactly. He said that this woman told him that, she's never had a healthy relationship. And really, I feel like what he was trying to say is giving he sees why.
Right.
Okay. He told her, if you want people to love and respect you, you have to learn how to respect others, because this type of attitude, there's no way your relationship is going to be healthy. So then she flips out talking about how, I told you about the type of men I've dated in the past. And now you trying to put it all on me like I'm the problem, and tells him that he's the problem. Then told him he better chill because he's messing with the wrong freaking ass person. Girl, you don't even know how to curse properly. What?
She tried.
Oh my God. I feel
She
like
tried. She was trying to have a moment.
I wish Victoria was there. I feel like Victoria, like, Victoria is just so calm nature, but I feel like she would have just popped her real good, real quick. Now, he said, what type of man will put up with a woman that doesn't want to hear him out? And he told her, look inward. Okay. And she said she don't want to. Clearly. Um, she said, if I'm such a huge problem, then why do you want to be with me? And then says that he's obsessed with her and wants to marry her for a visa. Girl, it's not giving he's obsessed with you.
No, it's not.
He left you for 3 days in a hotel in hardly
And I never got once that Chitty was looking for a visa
at all. He said it's laughable. Okay.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he don't trust her to take care of him.
He said, girl, before I met you, I was living, surviving, and thriving. Okay.
Okay.
And if
He
the
hit
Lord
an
sees
Ashley
fit for
Darby
me
on
to
his ass.
go, huh?
I said Chitty hit an Ashley Darby. He said, I'm surviving and thriving.
Yes. He said, if the Lord sees fit for me to go to the US, I will do so. I don't need your ass to do it. Okay. Then he tried to start, the conversation over calmly. And of course, she starts yelling. He said, we can't continue like this. So she's like, okay, so what do you want from me? She said, if I'm a little too much for Chitty, I will withdraw myself out of your life. He said, I have no issues with that. I need to move on. I said, oh, Chitty. Then this girl starts, with her crocodile tears, talking about how it's so, it's so hurtful that someone can tear you down to the degree that he did. Child, what the hell did he do to tear you down? Tell you to look inward?
what it was for me when she was like, I've been with crack crack smokers and cocaine addicts and meth addicts, and I'm thinking,
Really,
you
what is
really know how to pick them. Why are you blaming that on Chidi? Because your picker is off. Well, what do they say?
you
You
need to
attract
look.
what happened?
Yes, yep. You need
You
look
attract what you exude, sweetie. That's
that
all I'm saying. And
you
no shade, but you do give a level of crackhead. I'm just saying.
like Shitty said, you need to look inward.
Right.
Okay, fix that energy, and you will attract different things.
Well, bless her heart. I'm
Okay.
wondering when we gonna meet. I guess we're gonna meet this couple next week.
I think so.
I'm just over it. Why are we even introducing? And we're on episode 10, but okay. Um, so now we're getting into Tigerlily and Adnan. I'm just so annoyed. Yes, they're cute, but they just annoy me. Between her and her voice and Adnan and him being a child, it just
He's a model, right? That's
that's what they say.
is that all he did?
I think that's all he do.
I got a little money.
I think his family comes from money. That gives me that vibe.
Mm.
So Tigerlily is on the fence about seeing Adnan based on the shower photo that he done posted. And as we know, Adnan is decorated, the room beautifully with a whole bunch of flowers.
Sent
That
a
look
call
like,
for her with flowers and card.
and
Okay.
although Tigerlily likes it, she won't let it get in the way of what she needs to say to him. Okay, so she's not behaving normally, and so she asked him why he's basically acting like everything is all good. So Adnan doesn't understand why she's angry when he deleted the photo, like she asked, and she asked him how he would feel if she took a photo fresh out the shower with her shirt off. Now he makes it clear he'd unalive her, and it's because he's a man and she's a woman.
Didn't
I'm
she
gonna say
say
this,
he wouldn't delete the photo though?
huh?
Didn't last episode? Didn't she say that he wouldn't delete the photo?
I think that was it, and I think now he's. Yes, she did say that last episode, but he's saying that he deleted it, so he doesn't understand why she's upset.
Okay.
So they got Wi-Fi in the sky, so maybe they was arguing on the plane. So basically he lets her know that yes, it may be a double standard, but yes, as a woman, you just can't walk out with your titties out, and that's just what it is. And he basically explains, just like when we go swimming, which we've seen with Nicole and Mahmoud, he's like, yeah, I can have my shirt off, but you got to be covered up. So she's like, well, that's not gonna work for me. I feel like, out of respect, I understand what your culture says.
I like that she said that though, because she's
Right,
like, it's not about religion. It's
right,
about respect for me.
right.
Because
And
he
she's
keeps
like,
going back to the
so if
religion.
you can't wear, if you don't want me showing myself, then you should be, you should give me the same respect. And he just kind of looks at her and tells her whatever, so he can get her to shut up, and so they can get on this baby making mission that they trying to get on. And that's really what it was. And Tiger Lily decides to move on, even though there's no real resolution. But she hopes that he learned something, and I don't know what he learned, because again, y'all both just swept it under the rug so y'all could get to the sex and the baby making. And apparently, word
And
on
if
the
you
street,
don't do that, then you might as well had just waited.
but yeah, word on the street, everything is alleged and just our opinion.
He
But
flipped up.
word on the street is that the baby is been born. Okay.
Mhm. And
And
apparently
the
he said
baby
that
is here.
to be known.
So I imagine, I would hope that means that they're still together. But I
Yeah.
wonder if that means. So I imagine the baby's in the U.S. and I don't know. I ain't got time. I'll look into it later. But yeah, y'all. So that was pretty much the episode of Before the 90 Days. If y'all have not already, please make sure that you've hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment
Make sure that you guys are subscribed.
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. Yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week for another recap of this foolishness that happens before these people actually, like, they have time to not make bad decisions and they still make them. But yeah, that's before the 90 days. All right, y'all. So, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep your head up. Love y'all. Bye.